How will you hide and mask sensitive data when using data sharing capabilities in Snowflake? Do you think the standard edition of Snowflake can help you, or do you need to use the invoker share context function? How do you know when to use invoker role versus invoker share context function to apply the data masking as needed? I hope you're not leaking your organization data to data consumer unknowingly. We will get into the answer to all these questions in this episode, so stay tuned until the end of this video. Warm welcome to the Snowflake SQL video series and my channel Data Engineering Simplified. In this episode 10, we will continue our discussion around context function. We will focus on one of the most important and rarely used session object context function called invoker share. At the time of recording, Snowflake has following context function and it may grow further. The category classification were discussed in the episode number 1 of this series. The context function strike and out are already discussed in our previous episode. Refer the playlist link above. In this episode 10, we will talk about invoker share context function, which falls under the object session context function. This context function has a very important role when we talk about data sharing and the column level data masking, specifically with shared object. Where can I find the SQL script? You can go to my website and find all the SQL script used in this episode. The link is provided below in the description section. Where can I find the Snowflake documentation about context function? The Snowflake documentations can be found at docs.snowflake.com. The link is given in the description below. Let's quickly understand the context function definition as per the Snowflake. It looks pretty simple. Invoker underscore share. It does not take any parameter. If you use this context function without parenthesis, it ends up with an error. So you have to use the parenthesis, and that's why it does not support the ANSI syntax. What the definition says, returns the name of the share that directly access the table or a view where the invoker share function is invoked. Otherwise, the function returns null. Let me help you with a pictorial representation. So here I have an employee table, which is at the rightmost side of the diagram. And there is a masking policy which is masking the salary information, and this table or a view is shared with a shared account. When shared account access this table or a view, then the masking policy, if invoking invoker share, then the shared object name would be returned. We will see in detail while following the live demo. Important note, this function works only with enterprise and higher edition of Snowflake. With standard edition, this function does not work because masking policy and all the invoker context function works only with enterprise and higher edition. Live demo. We will use Snowflake free trial edition to exercise the SQL script. Follow the link above for my free trial edition registration process where you can get the enterprise edition of Snowflake. So here I am in my legacy web UI, and let's run the syntax and understand how does it work. It's a pretty straightforward. You don't have to pass any parameter. I'm running the select followed by invoker underscore share with parenthesis. As I told you, if you run this function through the worksheet, it always returns null because there is no shared object involved in this statement. If I run without parenthesis, it ends up with an error. Does it need any warehouse? Let's check it. So let me print which warehouse I am currently using. So I am using compute warehouse, and this warehouse is right now suspended. Let me rerun the invoker share function once again. And I see my compute warehouse is still suspended. So it does not need any warehouse because this context function returns its results from the cloud service layer. Let's understand what kind of function it is, scalar or a table function. Let me use show function like command. Here I am seeing the invoker share function. It is an inbuilt function. It says here it supports ANSI, but when we ran this invoker share function, it ended up with the result. So I'm not sure why does it say ANSI. It does not take any argument, and it says it does not take any value and return a varchar. And it says it returns the invoker role who has invoked this function, and it is primarily invoked through the shared object. So it is not that you are invoking through the view or you are invoking through the UDF, but primarily when you are invoking an object like a view or a table through the shared object, then only this function gives a meaningful result. For all other purpose, it gives a null value. So the description in this field is not appropriate or maybe slightly misleading. Can I assign the result of this context function to a variable? Yes, you can do that. Let me run this SQL statement. My statement executed successfully and my result printed here as a null. Works good. So we have understood the standard syntax of invoker share context function. Now let's understand more practical use of this particular function through a masking policy. For that, I am going to create a table named employee with a secure view. So the first step, for a simplicity, I am switching my role to the account admin. I have already created a database called MyDB and I have a schema called MySchema. We have covered the other invoker functions in last 2 episodes. So refer the link above. I am creating a table called MyEmployee table, which has a salary field, and I have added 3 additional column called current role, invoker role, and share invoker role. And by default, they take this NA value. So let me create this table for you. So this table is created successfully. I am inserting 5 records to this table. Let me see the data first. So here the result is shown that I have 5 records. All the salary fields are visible and rest of the fields are populated with the default value. Perfectly fine. Let me move further. Again, I'm switching my role to the account admin. I am choosing this schema specifically and I am creating a secure view. The name of the secure view is called secure_emp_view01. And why I am creating a secure view? Because this view is going to be shared through the shared object. As we know, you cannot share a non-secure view or a standard view through the shared object. So I am creating a very simple view. Let me see the result. So I am able to see exactly the same data set like an employee table. Now I am going to give the grants to the system admin role. So system admin can also see the data, because when I would apply the masking policy, I would try to switch the role between account admin and system admin, and you can see the difference with the masking policy. Now, when I switch my role to the system admin is also able to see the employee data, which looks perfectly fine. When I run the select statement on secure view, it gives the same result. Perfectly fine. Now I am switching role back to the account admin and I am making sure that I do not have any masking policy applied. So I am creating a masking policy and the masking policy will show the salary data only if the user has a sensitive data read role. Else it will return the masked text. Now I am going to apply this masking policy on employee table, salary field, and this is the name of the masking policy, which says salary masked episode 10. My masking policy got executed successfully. Let me run my employee table. I got all the salary valued masked. However, I'm not getting current role, invoker role, and invoker share. I have not yet applied any data masking over there. If I run it through the secure view, my data is still masked, perfectly fine. If I switch my role to the system admin, and let me see the data. So all the data is visible masked. So salary data is visible masked, which is perfectly fine. Now, since I have added 3 columns, current role, invoker role, and share invoker role, I am going to create a masking policy to print the value during the runtime, which we have done it in our previous video. So I am not going to explain this again. So I am going to create a masking policy on current role field. I am switching to the role account admin. I am creating a masking policy, which by default return the current role, and I am applying this masking policy on the current role field from the employee table. So it got executed successfully. Now I am creating another masking policy. This is also returning invoker role by default. Now I am applying this masking policy on the field invoker role from the employee table. Now I am going to create a new masking policy which will be applied on the invoker share pseudo column, which is the last column in my employee table. What this masking policy says, when the invoker share role returns a public, then it will return the invoker share. If invoker share is a my share, then it will return the my share. If it does not satisfy the first two statement, then it will say failed. Let me create this masking policy. So my masking policy is created successfully. Now I am going to apply this masking policy on the table. Now my masking policy is created. Now let me run the select statement and see how the result looks like. Let me switch my role to the system admin and run the view. So it looks perfectly fine. My salary is masked because I am calling the view. My current role is system admin, looks perfectly fine. My invoker role is account admin, which is perfectly fine because the view is calling the employee table, and the share invoker role is failed because it is not being invoked through the shared object. What does it mean that I have to create a shared object? I am clicking on this button share. So when you go to this page first time, you can see all the inbound shared object. We need to create a shared object with outbound. So select this outbound, click on a create. Here you give name of the object. I am choosing MyDB. I am choosing my schema followed by secure underscore emp underscore view underscore 01. I click on apply, and this is my demo shared object. So my object is created successfully. So once my object is created, shared object is created successfully, I'm going to add a consumer. While adding a consumer, I get two options, reader consumer or a full consumer. I'm going to choose full consumer and give the name of the account to which I would like to share this object. Click on add, and my account added successfully. And if I refresh this button, I can see that my shared object, secure object is created with the account EG71478. Now I have to switch to that account to include my shared object as a database, and then only I can perform rest of the operation. So now I am in the different account called EG71478, and I clicked on the shared object. Now my share is coming as an inbound in this account, and I can see that it is shared by MC73521. Now when I click on this line item, I can see this hyperlink. Click on this hyperlink and it will prompt me to give the database name. I can give inbound db demo. I would add all the roles for a simplicity. I did all the roles. Now I created a database using this shared object. Here I can see that my shared object is represented as a inbound db demo. I go to my worksheet. Here I can see that I have inbound db demo is available. When I expand this, I can see my schema. When I expand this, I can see secure view. And here I can place in a name. I can choose a warehouse which is suspended. I can resume it, and I can run a command select star from inbound db demo, my schema, and secure view. When I run this command, let's see what result does it bring. I can see all my data is masked and my current role is null. My invoker role is account admin and the share invoker role is failed. However, it should not be failed. It should really come with the my share object. So why we have a problem? Let's fix this problem. I'm switching back to my another account and going to my worksheet, and here we have applied this masking policy called invoker share mask 10 on the employee table. However, we have shared the secure view. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create another masking policy which is called invoker share mask view, and I'm going to apply this masking policy to the view. And again, trying to check that if it works properly or not. So it is giving me a failed view which works perfectly fine. I am switching to my other account and I'm going to run this statement once again. And you see the difference. Since I have applied the invoker share on the view, I started getting the appropriate result here. And this is how you can use invoker share function to make sure that your data is masked appropriately. Snowflake documentation does not give enough detail how to use this invoker share function, and there is also a problem in their documentation. If you see the example, it says that you can have the name of the share with a single code. However, when I tried doing that, it ended up with an exception. Let me show you. If I try to run this masking policy as it is described in the documentation, I ended up with an error. So this is how you can use the invoker share function when you are masking your data, and specifically when your secure view or a table is shared. I hope I managed to bring enough clarity how this invoker share function is used. If you have any specific use case which you think that you would like to share with me and explain your problem statement, I can make another video involving all the invoker functions like invoker share is granted to invoker role as well as invoker role. So this video and the last two video, which are primarily related with the invoker function, helps you to understand how the invoker role is granted to invoker role as well as invoker share context function works. And if you have to secure your data and make sure that your data is not being leaked, you have to implement it appropriately and test it thoroughly. Trivia time. Let's see how much impact this tutorial has on your knowledge. Let's validate our learning. So let's review our answers. Thank you for watching. For those of you who are visiting my channel first time, I request you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and press the bell icon to get the notification. If this content is meaningful and helping you in your day-to-day work, press the like button and also share your feedback. Before you go, if you are benefiting from any of my content, please share your success story. Find the form link in the description below.